Good evening to you and welcome to tonight's bulletin. I do hope you've had a fantastic Wednesday from wherever you are watching Newswatch with me, Sammy Adika, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Now, beginning us off tonight from the corridors of justice, Kawira Mwangaza will continue to serve as the governor of Meru County after the High Court issued an extension of conservatory orders against her removal from office. Now, in his ruling, Justice Bahati Mwamuye stated that the conservatory orders would remain effective for 120 days to facilitate the hearing and resolution of the petition filed by Mwangaza, which challenges her impeachment. Now, our very own Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi begins us off tonight with the report.
Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza can now breathe a sigh of relief after the High Court confirmed orders blocking ouster. Judge Bahati Mwamuye, presiding over the case at the Milimani Law Court, said Kawira has satisfied the court that the case will be rendered useless if the interim orders are not confirmed. In his ruling, Justice Mwamuye not only confirmed but also extended the ex parte orders initially issued on August 21st of this year. These orders will remain in effect for a duration of 120 days, providing Mwangaza with crucial time to address the legal challenges she faces.
At that time, the petitioner shall continue to serve as the governor of Meru County with the proviso that the judgment in this matter may be rendered before the lapse of those 120 days from the date hereof. D, each party to bear its own costs for the two applications. And finally, E, directions on the hearing and determination of the petition within the period set out in C above shall be issued by this court immediately after the delivery of this ruling.
The Senate had asked the court to set aside the order, saying it has far-reaching implications that encroaches its mandate. They also faulted Kawira for suing the wrong party, saying she ought to have sued the Senate and not the Speaker. The Speaker, they said, has no vote in matter of the House. But the judge, in confirming the orders, said some of the issues raised will be dealt with during the main hearing of the matter. Justice Mwamuye further directed that the matter be mentioned on Friday this week for directions on hearing of the petition.
On 20th December 2024 at 2:30 p.m. in open court for issuance of further directions, leave to appeal the ruling dated 18th December 2024, if required, is granted. Certified copies of the ruling and proceedings to be typed and availed forthwith.
The judge emphasized that prudent use of scarce resources is more relevant in such a case, as a gubernatorial succession in the country would trigger events and changes that would be funded from the public coffers. Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi for Hope TV.
Well, many thanks, Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi, for the report right there. We are waiting to see what will happen after the 120 days elapse. Away from that, National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has reaffirmed his commitment to resolving pressing financial challenges that Kenya is currently in. Now, speaking at Nthiwa KMTC grounds in Homa Bay County, the CS highlighted key financial milestones achieved under his leadership since he took over office, while calling on Kenyans to give President William Ruto's government room to deliver its promises. On matters politics, Mbadi vowed to remain loyal to President William Ruto, whom he says he has faith in to revolutionize the country.
Our reserves have reached over 9 trillion, over $9 billion, a record. A record never witnessed in this country. Our inflation is at 2.8%, another record. We are paying salary of public servants by fifth. I said I don't want public servants to be paid around 18th of the month, the new month. Or at worst, should be the 5th of the new month. We are respecting that. As we speak today, all counties, I have given them money up to November. There is no arrears for counties. We released the last one yesterday, 32.9 billion. CDF, I promised Martin that I will give them 5 billion. I gave them 7. 2 more. We are working with the president to make sure that this economy works. We are working with the cabinet to make sure that this economy works. We are hardworking, we are determined, things will get better. Just give us opportunity. I am not here to lie to Kenyans. Things are not perfect, but they are getting better. I know the middle class have issues with their pay slips. The taxation. We want to streamline Kenya Revenue Authority for 1 year. Then we will start lowering pay as you earn, so that the middle class can have the capacity and the ability to buy goods and services to spur economic growth.
Now in Kirinyaga County, Governor Anne Waiguru has enumerated a wide range of achievements made by her administration in developing the county and uplifting lives of Kirinyaga County residents. Now, key among them being signing of a deal with an investor to establish a tomato processing factory. Now, speaking during the State of the County Address 2024, Waiguru lauded continued cooperation between the County Assembly, her office and Kirinyaga residents, further pledging more development as she serves her last term as Kirinyaga County Governor.
We have supported our farmers to increase production. We have achieved this through the provision of subsidized farm inputs, farm equipment, value addition, and market linkages, having injected about 468.7 million to support over 800 common interest groups and producer organizations. Those interventions have led to increased production in various value chains such as tomatoes, avocados, macadamia, dairy, poultry, fish farming, beekeeping, dairy goats, pig farming, rice, tea, and coffee. Having ensured that our farmers are now producing enough volumes, we have now moved to supporting them in bulk marketing and value addition. We have formed and funded 20 ward-based circles through which farmers will be able to access affordable credit, market linkages, and value addition. I am also happy to report that phase 1 of our seedlings propagation center in Kangai is now complete and set to start operating next month. The center will provide farmers with affordable, high-quality seedlings in their backyards, thus reducing the cost of production.
Well, now on matters environment, the Green Thinking Action Party of Kenya leader Dr. Isaac Kalua Green has called for the immediate overhaul of the leadership at the Kenya Forest Services, saying they have failed to protect the country's forests while getting involved in selling indigenous trees for profit. Dr. Kalua, while exposing the road at KFS, has signaled a rampant behavior amongst some officials in the board of the Kenya Forest Service in the wake of reports of excisions of sections of the forest to either build roads or set up golf courses. Let's take a look.
Is to declare an immediate moratorium on the and revocation of the licenses that have been issued to different institutions. First, stop. Everything must stop. If we have to cut the culture, we must stop everything to make sure that, and we do a clear survey, who is doing what for what purposes. Because clearly, there are some activities that could be okay to deal with that. Nurseries that we were supposed to produce, there is a dam, there is everything else. in the same place there is production of nurseries, there wouldn't be anything wrong until when you realize there is a conflict of interest. The Honorable Duale has taken action that has never been taken by any minister before in the environment. That is the man to support. He is the one to revoke licenses. I'm calling upon him to revoke the licenses. I'm calling upon him to ensure that there is a responsibility at every level.
Well, now on matters healthcare, Gertrude's Children's Hospital has launched the construction of a new state-of-the-art 19-bed ward in Muthaiga, Nairobi, aimed to boosting the hospital's capacity. Now scheduled for completion in 2025, the ward is projected to cost up to 220 million Kenya shillings. Now speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony, Gertrude's Children's Hospital CEO Dr. Robert Nyarango expressed, or rather noted, that this new wing will improve the hospital's ability to continue its legacy of world-class quality care to its clients.
As Prime Bank do a lot of CSR projects, and this is not the first one we have done. We have been involved in Jalaram Medical Service, MP Shah Hospital. We have been involved in Loresho Eye Clinic and various other projects we continue to support, including schools and feeding program. That is what Prime Bank has been doing. Any institution, any hospital, when they're expanding, they always look for funds for enhancement of the facilities. And I give you a good example. If you have to buy a PET scan, it will cost you $2 million. So those are the type of figures when you need big equipments.
We believe that the type of accommodation that we give to clients contributes to their healing process. So we've also taken time to figure out how do we design the rooms and how do we make them very child-friendly so that contributes to their healing process. And number two is how we having currently almost all our clientele will be working class people. So even as the child is admitted here, the parent, the mother, the father is also working remotely. So they also require conducive environment from where they can continue part of their life, like working remotely. So these rooms also provide for that ability. These rooms are designed both to provide clinical care, but to provide a working space for the parents. And number three, to provide a delightful, child-friendly environment. So we're trying to combine those three things: a working environment for the mother, clinical care area for the children, for the clinical processes, but also a very child-friendly and delightful environment for the children.
Well, the report right there from Gertrude's Hospital will be taking us to a short commercial break. We shall be right back and take a look on matters agriculture and sports. Don't go too far.
Hello again, my name is Kwame, and you are with me joining this wonderful series as we count down to Christmas 2024, 12 days. And here we are at day 6. We're basically halfway through the program. Now, it's interesting how through all of the various events that are taking place and all the specific characters, God is very sort of methodically and carefully putting the pieces together, drawing people under one specific roof and purpose. After Mary receives the news, after she responds, after her husband Joseph decides that he's not going to divorce her, he's not going to publicly humiliate her, he's going to do what God requires of them, Mary takes some time off and goes to be with a cousin of hers called Elizabeth. The angel had actually told her about this special cousin and what was happening in Elizabeth's life. Actually, Elizabeth was going through a pregnancy, a very miraculous pregnancy, similar to what Mary had been going through. She was a relative of Mary as well. And this is what the Gospel according to Luke says about their encounter together. Luke chapter 1, and we're now looking at verses 39. At that time, Mary got ready, hurried to a town in the hill country of Judea. And she entered Zachariah's home and greeted Zachariah's wife, Elizabeth. When Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the baby leapt in her womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. In a loud voice, she exclaimed, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the child you bear. But why am I so favored that the mother of my Lord should come to me? As soon as the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the baby in my womb leaped for joy. Blessed is she who believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her." This was a beautiful encounter of two women who are going through a similar experience. And it really says to us something about not being alone when you're going through something amazing, or not being alone when you're going through something that is strange to you and you're not really sure whether you have all the answers to it. Many times in a moment of confusion or question, we just want to keep to ourselves and keep quiet. But I want to encourage you. Find somebody who you know has your back, somebody who may not necessarily be going through the same thing, but hopefully is familiar with what you're going through and is ready to celebrate you, ready to encourage you, ready to support you in all the things that you're going through. You don't have to go through this life or go through this Christmas by yourself. Find somebody who will be an Elizabeth to your Mary. Somebody who will celebrate what God is doing in your life and will indeed congratulate and encourage you, support you, and comfort you. Sometimes you just need to look for that one person who's out there who has gone through stuff like you've gone through, and they can share what God has done for them and what God will continue to do for you. Maybe you can be that person to somebody who you know is going through something similar. Maybe they've had an experience that you've been through, and God walked you through that. God helped you through that. You can be an encouragement to them as well. So find your Mary, find your Elizabeth, be an Elizabeth to your Mary, and be a good Mary to your Elizabeth. God bless you.
Hii Krisi Majanja wata stream on na DSTV Stream. Stream on the good times with DSTV Stream. Visit dstv.stream to sign up and start streaming.
Na feel home na Sarah. Sarah Hassan.
Stream on the good times anytime, anywhere with DSTV.
Back to the broadcast, and on matters agriculture, at least 300 farmers from across Nyandarua County have benefited from an agribusiness and entrepreneurship training to equip them with the much needed skills for their agribusinesses. Now, according to Nyandarua County Governor Moses Kiari Badilisha, the initiative seeks to leverage on the current innovation and technology trends so that farmers can integrate them into their farming practices to increase yields. Now, speaking on the sidelines of the training and awarding of certificates to participants in Olkalau town, Governor Badilisha further added that meaningful and impactful development are the real drivers of transformation.
Nataka nimshukuru sana kwa haya masomo ambayo tulipata. Yatatusaidia sana katika ukulima wetu. Maanake mbeleni tulifanya ukulima ambao haukuwa na mpango. Ukulima ambao ulilima tu ulime. Asubuhi unaamka, unatafuta mahali kwako hakuna mahali kitu umepanda, unachukua kama ni njugu unapanda sababu imefika wakati huo wa kupanda. Lakini kwa sasa tutafanya mambo na mpango. Tutafanya mambo ya budgeting, tutafanya mambo ya record keeping. Kama tu ofisi vile inafanyika, sisi pia wakulima tutakuwa na hiyo progress ya kujua ni nini tunafanya, tunatumia mbegu gani, tunatumia fertilizers gani, tunatumia dawa gani ili ukulima wetu uendelee mbele.
Value ya kuongeza viazi, viazi, kuku, maziwa Paleto na pia hii mradi wa Peace. Tumesoma vile sio kulima ati vyenye watu walikuwa wanalima zamani. Kulima tu sababu inafaa kulima. Inafaa watu walime ndio wapate pesa na wawe wamesaidika vilivyo kuliko kutegemea serikali ama kutegemea usaidizi kutoka nje kila wakati.
Well, still on matters agriculture, Principal Secretary for the State Department for Agriculture, Paul Rono, has challenged Narok farmers to use their expansive lands to plant wheat so as to increase the productivity of wheat in the country from 5% to 20% and decrease importation of wheat from the other countries. Now speaking at the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, in the company of Governor Patrick Ntutu, Rono promised steady supply of fertilizer in all the NCPB stores around the country. On his part, Governor Ntutu said over 125,000 bags of wheat are lying at the NCPB in the county, asking the PS to negotiate for a friendly price with the millers so that the farmers can sell their produce.
Kama inawezekana hii wizara yako inisaidie mimi tujenge tu factory ya hii mambo ya viazi, so that our farmers wetu badala ya kutumia hii watu ya middlemen, tujenga factory ambayo wakulima wote wanapeleka hiyo, na mimi nitatengeneza mabarabara. Hiyo sitauliza national government. Natengeneza barabara tuweke katikati ya either Oloropil na hapo Melili Ward, tuweke factory kama ile ya Nyandarua au Kalau. Nafikiri inagonga Kalau. Kuna moja ambayo tulienda kuangalia huko. Na mimi niko tayari tufanye na serikali kuu ili tujenge hiyo factory, watu wetu wawe wakipeleka hiyo factory. Hii mambo ya ya kupima, hiyo ndio tutamaliza. Otherwise, mimi naomba sio, kwa sababu Bruno, nasikia hiyo ni area yako. Please, unitumie officers, tutembee nao. Na mimi nakupea askari wale wangu wa Rangers. Hata kama ni kukanyanganya na hiyo watu, tukanyanganya kabisa mpaka tupeleka hao kotini. Wanaumiza hao farmers wangu.
Wakenya watapata mbolea kabla ya Krismasi. Tumekuja hapa leo kuhakikisha kwamba hiyo mbolea kusema kweli imefika upande wa Narok na itaendelea sasa kusambazwa kwa hizo counties 5 yenye wanaanza kupanda kutoka Januari. County wa Narok, county wa Bomet, county ya Kisii, county ya Nyamira na county ya Bungoma. Na tutaendelea kupeana fertilizers kwa hizo makaunti zingine yenye wameanza kupanda mimea zingine.
Now on matters sports, Kawasaki has booked their place in the Sakaja Super Cup Grand Finale for the second year in a row after edging out South Sea Rangers 1-0 to win the Nairobi West Regional Finals at Dandora Stadium. Now Kawasaki will now face off with the winners between defending champions Githurai All-Stars and Shauri Moyo United. On the women category, South Sea Starlets FC are the Sakaja Super Cup Nairobi West Regional champions. Now South Sea Starlets did beat their South B neighbors Nairobi Starlets 3-1 in an entertaining encounter at Dandora Stadium. Now South Sea Starlets will now face Shrink Park from Nairobi East in the ladies grand finale on Friday this week to determine the ultimate Sakaja Cup women's champion. Well, that right there marks the end of tonight's bulletin. Many thanks for choosing Newswatch right here at Hope TV. My name is Sammy Adika and our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Mureithi at the right bottom of your screens. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.